welcome to another episode of Hospitality Insider on Koni TV. I'm Connie Kim, and today we have honored guest from Expedia, Adam Anderson, Director of Industry Relations. Adam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Connie. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, Adam, give us a little bit about your background, and also, of course, everybody knows Expedia,
Sure.
but what your role is.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I come from a technology background traditionally, but I've been with Expedia for 5 years now. And Expedia's job is to partner with hotels to drive global demand.
Yes.
Through our investments in our brands, our technology, through powerful marketing, and by providing data and insight to help hoteliers maximize their business and manage their profitability.
So, what is the difference between a traveler making a reservation through Expedia and directly with the hotel?
That's a great question. There are some differences. I mean, just demographically, a couple of comments. So we just recently did some research in the US, and for the US market, the OTA traveler, which is the online travel agency traveler, generally skews a little bit younger. A little bit more folks in the 25 to 39-year-old range. Also, the online travel agency traveler is more likely to travel internationally.
Yes.
Values the opportunity to book on a mobile device more.
Yes.
And some other interesting points is that the fact that they come from so many different countries.
Yes.
Expedia, for example, brings in travelers from 70 different countries. We have 150 points of sale around the world.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of different brands. And so we're a great supplier of international demand, which can be incremental for a hotel who maybe only has some brand recognition or knowledge within, a close proximity within the US or maybe within North America. So we can really add a lot of additional value that way.
So when did Expedia actually started?
Oh wow, okay. Well, we spun off from Microsoft more than 15 years ago. So we were actually a technology company from the very start. Microsoft spun it off, it became its own entity back in the 90s.
Yes.
And has been operating independently since then. It is now being run by IAC, which is Barry Diller's corporation. But our focus is still on technology. We do, of course, have roots in the hospitality business as well, but technology is our focus. It's continually where we invest, where we continue to innovate. We have investments in mobile, improvements to the sites, really focused on bringing the best consumer booking experience to consumers, which then brings additional demand to hotel partners.
So what is the value does the hoteliers get in signing up with Expedia?
Sure. Well, there's a lot, I think. At the end of the day, hotels want their rooms to be filled, and that's why they sign on with us, because we can create that demand. And a lot of the demand that we create is incremental, meaning it's demand that these guys couldn't get on their own. And we do that through our investments in our technology. Our marketing is a huge part of our business. We spent $2 billion on marketing last year.
Yes.
And that's around the globe. And that could be advertising, that could be SEM, so search engine marketing, that could be public relations, it could be any number of things. But the idea is that we are driving travel demand to the hotel partners that are in our store. The other things that they're looking for from us is just general exposure. A lot of the travelers start looking for their hotels with us. So even if somebody says, I'm identifying myself as a brand direct booker, in other words, I want to book only with the hotel website.
Right.
They still start their search more often on an OTA than they do with that brand direct website. Now, if there's a customer that says, I usually book direct with the hotel, you see that number go up quite a bit. Actually, about a third of those types of shoppers come and start their shopping experience on an OTA. So why that's important is even if you want to drive additional, as a hotel, want to drive additional business first party, an OTA can provide a really great place for there to be exposure during the research phase. And a hotelier certainly wouldn't want to remove themselves from that set of shoppers, even if they think that by doing so they'll get first-party bookers. It turns out they won't. They'll get far fewer.
Well, I mean, you certainly has done a great marketing job. I mean,
Thank you.
nobody does know what is Expedia, but there's a lot of saying though. I'm actually confused. Who is on what? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a hotel.com, and
Sure.
you know. So, can you clarify what are the Expedia actually own?
Yes, absolutely. So Expedia Inc. is the company at large. And then it owns a portfolio of brands that includes Expedia, as in Expedia.com. And we have websites of Expedia.com around the world. Hotels.com is another company, another brand that we own, I should say, with even more sites around the world. We also have a lot of brands that a lot of Americans would be less familiar with. Agencia is our corporate travel brand.
I see.
We also own Hotwire, which is the
I see.
opaque booking,
Yes.
discount booking site. We have other sites, including a majority stake in Elong, which is a Chinese company. So we're driving Chinese travelers.
I see.
Venere in Europe, and believe it or not, there are more. So
Wow.
the idea is that's a strength for us because we're
Okay.
attracting lots of different customers.
Different ways.
Yeah, different ways in different geographies, and delivering that demand to hotel partners.
Okay, Adam, please hold that thought. When we come back, we're going to talk about global travel view from Adam Anderson. Don't go away.
I am Fausto Jimenez, Vice President for Standards at Grupo Posadas, and you're watching
You are watching
And you're watching.
You are watching
You're watching Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV,
Koni TV.
KoniTV.tv.
Welcome back to Hospitality Insider with Adam Anderson, Director of Industry Relations from Expedia. Hi, Adam. Thank you for sharing wonderful stories.
It's my
Now,
pleasure.
share with us a little bit of your global travel view.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time in the industry, and international travelers is a big reason for that. If you look around at all the developing markets, there are a lot of people who have money to travel for the first
Right.
time. There's burgeoning middle classes in some
Right.
countries, in developing countries. And there's access to high-speed internet that
Yes.
wasn't there before.
Yes.
So as an online travel company, we're really excited about the demand we can bring to U.S. hoteliers. That is incremental to their business, but it's also very valuable because, generally speaking, the international traveler stays longer, pays a little bit more, meaning they get a higher ADR,
That's
and
right.
books farther in advance.
That's right.
So it's a very valuable booking. So a lot of hoteliers will say, "Gosh, well, I'd like to get more of these," and there's certainly ways we can do that. But the reason it's not always easy, and the reason why we add a lot of value, is because it takes a bit of investment
Yes.
to bring those travelers over.
Yes.
So, for example, I had mentioned earlier we have 150 sites around the world,
Right,
and
yes.
that's 30 in 38 different languages in around 70 countries. Well, language is a big part of that, and so you have to translate your site, but it's not as simple as running it through Google Translate.
That's
it needs to be
right.
a first-class translation
yes,
by
cultural.
native speakers.
That's right.
And what people don't realize too is there's nuances even between it in a particular language. So Spanish, for example, the Spanish from Spain is different than the Spanish from
Mexico.
Argentina, which is different from the Spanish from Mexico.
That's right. That's
So it's important that the native user feels comfortable in transacting on your site. They want to know that, okay, this is a company that understands, that I can understand, that understands
Right.
me, but I can understand the terms and conditions, I understand
Yes.
the descriptions of the room.
Yes.
Providing that comfort is very important. I'd say a second consideration is currency exchange.
Yes.
So, the US dollar is a standard, sure, but if you were an international traveler, I think you'd probably be more comfortable transacting in your own currency. You don't have to think about foreign exchange rates. It's a currency you're more comfortable using.
That's
Again,
right.
eliminating any kind of barriers that would prevent somebody from booking.
Right.
And a third very important one is cultural considerations.
Yes, that is very
And
important.
I've got a couple of good examples here that many people don't realize. I'll take Japan, for example. In Japan, our site looks and works a little different. We have changed the user interface to accommodate Japanese, typing in Japanese characters.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's difficult.
Yes.
In the US, if you use the search box, you can type in where you want to go and then it'll come up. It's a little more difficult in Japan. We use drop-down menus. We use radio buttons in order to make it easier to navigate the site.
Okay.
Another example is payments. In the US, we're very comfortable with credit cards. In India, they prefer bank pay, meaning a direct transaction with the bank. In Brazil, they like to pay in installments. So that means 10 payments for a single vacation. Very commonplace there, and that would have been a barrier to a booking had we not made that investment.
Exactly.
So there's really a lot that goes into it, but finally, after all those considerations, you still have to be visible. You still have to be a known entity. So we invest heavily in marketing around the globe to drive traffic to those sites, to drive familiarity so that the bookers in all those countries who want to come to the US and stay at the American hotels know where to go to get there.
So that sounds like really complicated to manage all that different areas, different countries with that. So what do you think is your success formula to getting all that out there and working consecutively all together?
That is a great question, and we've recently, I'm going to focus on technology, and we've recently sort of changed the way we think a little bit about technology. We are a technology company, but the way technology has been evolving is it is moving so fast. To give you an example, look back at the 20th century, electricity came about. In order for that to get to general population, say 25% of the general population, it was about 46 years. Black and white TV was 26, color TV was 18, the internet was 7, and then Facebook got 100 million users in 3 years. So it's really shortening, right? So because of all that innovation happening at such high pace, what we do is that we set up A/B tests so that the volume of bookers and shoppers that come to our site, and there are millions of them, they come and they get different versions of the site, and they tell us what they like by virtue of how they interact. So right now, as we're talking, there's probably between 100 and 200 different versions of the Expedia sites available. So what we're doing is collecting data and information based on how people are transacting. Maybe this one performs a little bit better than this one. Maybe we find people spend more time on this site than this one. All that data goes into it, and we let the consumer and the traveler sort of guide us as to where we need to make innovation.
So with all that innovation and implementation, that if there is a hotel, it's not a brand, okay, just independent. Do you think that hotel can survive and Expedia can help them to get the reservation?
Absolutely. One of the great things about being an independent partner for Expedia is that where an independent property needs the most help, I think, is recognition, is getting people to understand that their hotel is there, it's available, and what the experience is like. Expedia is able to provide that through their online brochure, which includes photos.
You know what? Hold that thought.
Yes.
When we come back, we want to talk about more of a marketing strategy that Expedia can present to the independent hotels. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Didi Kim with Darf Design, and you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you are watching.
And you're watching Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV, the first internet channel for the hospitality industry.
Watch and follow who she brings and what she brings to show you, to inspire.
KoniTV.tv. I love it.
Welcome back to Hospitality Insider with Adam Anderson from Expedia. So Adam, that was a very interesting story. So let's continue to see how can independent hotel with no brand behind can be surviving, and also how Expedia can help them to market their hotels globally.
Absolutely. Independent hotels can get a lot of benefit actually out of the partnership, and one of the greatest ways to do that is for them to invest in their online brochure, and that's what we call their hotel listing, and that includes photos. So any hotel from around the world can see those photos and get a good understanding. Traveler opinions or reviews is a huge important factor. In fact, actually, with traveler opinions, if you get more than 50 of them, we see from our data analysis that the conversion rate goes up 2.5% compared to those that don't have 50 reviews.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
So make the investments in the photos, make the investments in the traveler opinions, make sure that your descriptions are sharp, make sure you have a competitive price. You do all those things, and because you're a partner, when customers are shopping for a hotel in Memphis or a hotel in Tuscaloosa or maybe New York, it's likely that your hotel will be one of the ones that they view. Now, one of the best parts of that is not only are we driving demand through that directly,
Right.
and again, just a reminder, we only get paid if we make a booking.
Right.
So if we deliver demand, that we do, that's great. We get paid for that. But there's a lot of times people will do their research on an OTA, and then choose to book directly with that property. So for an independent, they may see that their independent bookings go up as a result of their partnership with Expedia. All the while, we're still providing additional demand through our sites.
So now the general perception is that Expedia is lower. If I am booking my travel, the Expedia, it can be lower than if I book it directly to the hotel. So is that true or not?
Well, we always aim to offer our customers the best price possible. That's our goal. Having said that, hotels set the price parameters for their rooms. So generally speaking though, if you're a traveler, come to Expedia. We have a best price guarantee. You know you're going to get the best price. If you don't, we can provide you a refund there. But as a hotelier, it's important to know that you have the flexibility and that you are in control of your pricing parameters so that you can set the rate that you want, that you think is going to be most profitable for your business.
So is this something that you can talk about? How much percent do you charge for the hotels if you are booking through Expedia?
Well, it's complicated, and I'd say that it varies.
Okay.
We have contracts with brands, so the big major branded hotels, and there are certain parts of that contract that are specific to that brand, and then we have different contracts for different types of hotels in different regions. So it's really hard for me to give a ballpark figure, but it varies based on the value of the demand that we create.
Okay, whether you got one hotel or 1,000 hotels, that's a different story.
It makes a difference.
Yes. Okay, so at the end of the day, everybody's goal is ROI. So what can I invest on you? Is it going to get back more money?
Yeah.
And what is your formula or marketing strategy to add value to those hotels?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, really what makes the partnerships with the hotels so good is that we sit down and we listen to what their needs are.
Okay.
And we have a flexible platform with a lot of different channels, and we work hand in hand to set a strategy to help make this hotel get the demand that they want at the price that they want. So I'll give you an example of a way we collaborate is our market management organization. We have folks who are assigned to different hotels. So if you're a hotel, a specific hotel in New York, Times Square, and you say, I would like to get more international traveler because I like how they book farther in advance and stay longer. Well, we can work with them to set up a specific promotion to attract European travelers, for example, or Asian travelers, for example. So there's a lot of flexibility in what we can do depending on the needs of the hotel. And our job is to work together to come up with a strategy that makes them the most successful.
Okay, so now we are here in HI Connect.
Yeah.
And what is your purpose, and then what do you think about all this new design of the future?
Oh yeah, it's really interesting. I don't get exposed to this side of the business very much, so it's really exciting for me to see all the design options. I think hotels have come a long way, and including some of the brands who are really kind of pushing the design from what I would have traditionally associated with them to what I'm seeing here today. But really my opportunity and Expedia's opportunity here is that there are hotel owners here, the hotel folks here. I was invited to speak on a technology panel earlier, and I wanted to be here as a resource so that as these folks who are the ones running the hotels and making the day-to-day decisions, they understood the value that we could offer them in terms of partnership.
Okay, that's great. So, Adam, Now there's a lot of people are watching on this video. Now I want you to give them the wisdom. How is the best way they can get their best experience booking through Expedia?
Booking as
Yeah.
a traveler? Or,
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you, one of the most unique products that we offer, and one of the industry's sort of best secrets, is what we call the package booking. That's combining your flight and your hotel together.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize how much money you can save doing that.
Okay.
It's literally hundreds of dollars, because a hotel and an airline can combine their discounted prices that they can't offer separately
Oh, okay.
and get you into the combination at a really, really low price.
Okay, perfect. Then give us some wisdom. What is the day's wisdom? Tell us what you think that hold this industry. That just a couple of words.
Well, it's moving very fast right now.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of innovation.
Yes, that's great. Great wisdom. Thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you very much,
It was
Koni.
a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Hospitality Insider with Adam Anderson from Expedia. That if you want to know more about Expedia or Adam, please go to konitv.tv. Thank you for watching.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Cinders, Senior Vice President for Government Affairs at American Hotel and Lodging Association, and you're watching
And you're watching
You're watching Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV.
KoniTV.tv. Koni TV is the hospitality TV company, and we're very excited to be part of Koni TV.